Good day, everyone. CMPS 1014 project. We're going to get into the business proposal part, which is done in Microsoft Word. Please remember this is done in Microsoft Word, not done in PDF, all right, for formatting issues. And remember, this class has two practical elements, the Word and the Excel portion, right? So this video will be strictly on the Microsoft Word business proposal part. So remember that your draft business proposal will be given to a peer, somebody in your class that you choose. You should try to use the same person for both pieces, but you can use someone else. And that person will take your business proposal and they will use the rubric that I'm about to explain to you. They will give you the rubric, they will use the rubric to evaluate your business proposal, and sometime prior to Sunday, October 3rd, 11:59, you will submit your business proposal draft with the rubric attached, basically as a part of it, as a last page that you will submit um, prior to that date. So this will be reviewed by your peer, okay? So it gives you some sort of feedback before your final feedback. These will not be reviewed by the instructor. These are not graded, but they are just a tool to help you and have someone else in your class who's working on the same project as you provide you some feedback, all right? Um, Now, let's look at the rubric. So this is what you will be graded on by your lecturers, okay? So your business proposal should have the following elements. It should have a title, cover page. It should have a table of contents. It should have an executive summary. It should have the actual business proposal element to it, what business you are proposing. It should have the methodology that you will execute this business, which should include an IT element. That means some sort of information technology element that will be used and explained in detail. Okay, if you're going to be using QuickBooks, if you're going to be using surveillance cameras, if you're going to be using a website, um, you're going to go into the details of how you came about and chose that, and explain what will be the elements that you will use. Okay. Um, the About Us section, which will be a small section, basically will be about your business itself and the type of employees that you're going to have working for you, the skill set that you're looking for in the people that you're going to be hiring, your own skill set, what you think your strengths are, what you think your weaknesses are, and where you're going to get what are you going to be looking for in the individuals. The pricing and financial. You're going to have a first year budget, which will be a separate video that I will discuss that. But in here, you can touch on the highlights, okay, of that same document. Also, you can discuss the research that went into the document, since the Excel spreadsheet will be just numbers. So this is where you can discuss where you came up with information regarding um, your pricing structure. So if you're going to have, if you're going to be selling a product or a service, how did you come up with that pricing? What did you do to investigate local, regional, national, international prices on the same products or services? Also, your goods. Purchasing your goods and your services. What type of research did you do to come up with those numbers? Okay. A timeline could be something as simple as a basic timeline showing from now until when you're actually going to be open. What are going to be the steps, the processes, when you're going to order goods, when you're going to secure your property, when are you going to hire people, when you're going to train people, when are you going to market, right? These types of things that you would come up with when doing a business proposal. The terms and conditions, typically, I have had problems in the past where people download these from other websites and give me like 3 or 4 pages. That's not what we're looking for here, okay? If you're going to be a credit business, then you would spend a few lines and maybe a short paragraph to discuss if you're going to be offering credit. If so, how is it going to work? How did you come up with that idea to offer credit? What would be your terms and conditions? Also, if not, then you could always look at your vendors and say, are you going to look for vendors who will offer you to be able to buy on credit, right? How are you going to establish that credit rating? And then your final thoughts, so your conclusion, kind of wrap up what you told us, okay? The references, you need to have references as well, which I'll discuss the number here shortly in the rubric itself. to support anything that didn't come out of your head, right? You can look at this website that's provided here as well on how to write a proposal to come up with some different examples. But I want to discuss the rubric in this video and go through this section here where it comes down with the grade of a 4, which is the highest grade you can get. You can get anywhere, I mean, obviously if you don't do something at all, you can get a 0. But basically it's 4 and it can drop down. You can get 3.9, 3.8, 3.5. It all depends upon how well you meet the requirements. So I'm going to focus on the 4 areas since that's what everybody should be going for. Basically, it's supposed to be 4 pages. That does not include the title page, the table of contents, and the executive summary, right? Or the references. That's basically from the proposal to the final thoughts, okay? Your next part here, it talks about the content quality. The proposal covers more than 8 areas. So if you count them up, you've got title cover page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if you cover 9 or more, you can get a 4. And that's not saying that these other things should not be covered, but they could be put in other areas, right? So you could put like the timeline could actually go somewhere under the proposal or in the methodology. The terms and condition could always go under financial, right? So you have ability to put things and merge things together, but you need to make sure you cover all the areas, but you have to have at least 9 sections, right, to get the full points, right? The paper is formatted according to business proposal guidelines, and then your references should be cited in APA form. You should have 4 references. The paper should be double spaced. Remember that when you cite something, there is already a video showing you how to cite, and there's also a video showing you how to cite for a forum, which can be applied to this document as well because it shows you how to use the Microsoft Reference Maker. The grammar and writing is basically making sure that you take the time to spell things properly, that you use proper punctuation, capitalization, proper nouns, that you use complete paragraphs and not just lists, right? So that's basically here. And then the last one is the organization. So you go in some sort of a logical order. You'd be surprised, but I've seen before where people have put the table of contents on the 3rd or 4th page and had the executive summary and have even had the business proposal before it. So certain things should be on their own page. Not everything needs to be on its own page. The title page should be on its own page. The table of contents should be on its own page. Typically the executive summary and the references. Everything else can flow. And what I mean by flow, that means that you don't have like one paragraph on a page just to make it look like you have more information, right? So if, for example, your let's say your business proposal part or your methodology part finishes halfway through the page, you don't jump to the next page. Continue on. Okay. All right, folks. So remember, the business proposal is part of the entire package, which will be submitted on Sunday, November 21st. The first time you will submit it will be the draft, which will be on Sunday, October 3rd. Okay. The first thing that you'll be submitting for the project, as I put in the other video, would be the 12th of September, update 1, and then the 19th of September is update 2. All right, thank you very much.